Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. This topic that we're working with right now is, why is my wife not romantic? And I'm going to tell you why she isn't, and hopefully you will hear this and you will recognize, wow, I've got a lot of work to do. I have to work on my marriage as a whole, not just this one little thing. I have to rekindle everything. I have to make this work. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you do, it is totally worth it. At the Marriage Foundation, it's very different from anything else that you will see out there. We come from a very spiritual place because marriage is a very spiritual thing. It's all about love. You want to have romance? What about the love? You married your wife because you love her, right? You literally found your soulmate. They call it in the world infatuation, but that is not what it is. Infatuation is when you get a new car and you're really excited. But when you met your wife for the first time in this life, when it clicked that you knew her before, you know her. You know her, in fact, better than she knows herself. You know her at a level of yourself as a soul and her as a soul. You're soulmates. And having that first experience, that taste of what was to come, God completely pushed aside, because in this world we are not taught about marriage correctly. We are not taught about love. We are taught about love in that realm of emotion. But love is much deeper than that. Much. You've had that experience where you have felt so much love for your wife that it's dripping out of every pore of your body. You almost can't take it. The who it is that cannot take it is your mind. We don't learn this, but here it is. You are a soul. You have a body and you have a mind. Those are your possessions. And what happens, because we're not taught, it's not your fault, because we're not taught, we live in the realm of the mundane, of emotions, of fears, of enthusiasm, excitement, and all of that stuff that is fine for working with in creation, but it is not fine for your marriage. When you got married, you had an expectation of your happiness increasing every day, didn't you? And you had an expectation that that love that you have for your wife would grow. And what that really means, because love is already infinite, where's it going to grow? But what happens is we lower our defenses, you might say, little by little. We cultivate that love really by removing the obstacles that the mind throws in the way, because the mind is a machine. It's two-dimensional. It can't experience love, and so it's afraid of it, and so it wants you to be afraid of it. And what happens is you've bought in. We all buy in because we're not taught. So here's what's going on. In the beginning, you had that thrill of meeting again. And you had an expectation, and that's why you got married, so that you could nurture that love. And it turns into marital bliss. But nobody taught you how. So now your wife is experiencing the same stuff, the non-love stuff. It isn't what you do that's going to make a difference, other than if what you do is read one of my books or take the course for men. That's a good to do. But what you really must do to have that romance come back, because romance is like the icing on the cake, is you have to cultivate your love. You have to get rid of the complaining. You have to get rid of the criticisms, the anger, the arguing. All that stuff's got to go. It has no place in marriage whatsoever. Doesn't matter what some people say about you have to learn how to argue. You don't have to learn how to argue. You learn how to cultivate the love. And when the desire, the urge comes up to argue or criticize or complain, you shut it down. It's your mind. You're supposed to master it. And that's really what this is all about. So if You want your wife to be romantic? Guess what? You have to touch her heart. How do you do that? You become more in your heart. How do you do that? I can't do that in a video. You got to learn, again, from one of my books or from the Course for Men. But it's doable. And when you do it, it'll change your life. Hopefully you're already a subscriber and your life is already changing. We get many, many messages from people who say, oh my God, it's completely turned my marriage around. This is a good way. Watch the videos. Subscribe and watch these videos. It'll change your perspective of marriage, of yourself, of your wife, of everything, actually. Because the world is changing. It's evolving. And we're starting, what does evolving mean? It doesn't mean more gadgets. It means understanding ourselves as what we are as human beings. We're very special. So thank you for watching this video. God bless you. And I hope to see you again. Take care.